And here's where I have to hope that my camera doesn't fall off this crappy surface that I've put it on to temporarily survive while I record this. Thus, yeah, even though this video is going to be called Calamity in the Isle of Wight or Disaster in the Isle of Wight or something like that, it's not entirely to do with the weather. I mean, a lot of it is, but a lot of it's more disaster to do with me, to be honest, because like everything seems to be like that lately, really. Anyway, there was the whole thing where to be working at the Isle of Wight, we were meant to be going down there to meet for 6 PM to get on a coach at least 6:30 on the dot to go over to the Isle of Wight. So making my way over to London to do that, and I thought, you know, I'll leave myself some extra time like I do, because I like to be there early so that there's no panic or anything. And I was even considering walking there, so I got there 2 hours early, because in the end I decided not to walk the area there. I just got the undergrounds to the place where we're meeting, so I got there way early and met a couple of people that I knew from the year before, chatted to them a bit, but then, you know, they wanted to go sit at the other end rather than at the front where the coach was going to be, so I stayed up where the coach was going to be, because obviously I wanted to be on the coach rather than sit around forever, although some people still jumped the queue ahead of us and somehow ended up on the second coach, which major disaster, to be honest. Like, the first coach arrived at, I don't know, 9 and left, and people still jumped on that even though they weren't meant to. They just jumped way ahead of the queue, so they counted us out and I was counted onto the second coach, sorted, just about, like it ended not long after me. So sat round to do that, waiting, and then thought, well, I'll go to the loo before the thing, and then just as they were closing the Tesco that was by us, so major hassle, I had to go right the way around to get back out after going back to the first entrance, which was nearby. Just about got back in time to be included in the final count to get on that coach, guarantees, but you know, only because there were people there that I was chatting to that I was getting on great with. And so finally got on that, and then that left at 10:30 and it missed the final ferry over there, so I sat on that 16 hours that coach was before we got there, and I was stuck on a seat that didn't recline back, so I was stuck upright all night. The only place where there was a speaker still going all night, everywhere else in the coach they turned it off, so I had dance music going all night, so I couldn't sleep, uncomfortable, couldn't sleep, no air conditioning, so I couldn't sleep right next to the window, so it was cold, and you know, just had no sleep whatsoever. Finally got to the Isle of Wight and set up my tent with the 2 people that I'd been chatting to, and yeah, my tent kind of, it's 6 years old, it was a bit raggedy, but oh yeah, and also they were saying before we went that the Isle of Wight was in monsoons and the bars had been destroyed and all this and all that, and me and Katie were like the only ones that seemed to be quite excited to be going about that, and like everyone else was a bit nervous, but I was like, no, yeah, probably not for exactly the same reasons, although I don't know, maybe, but I mean, part of mine was, yeah, you know, this will be fun, I've never done anything like this, but also another part was, well, if people are in danger and like, you know, I'm getting screwed out of my own home anyway, it'd be good to actually save someone's life, and you know, if I die trying, then I've done something good at least. So yeah, so we went there, and then like 5 minutes after putting my tent up, it was like clear it was falling apart and there was no chance that I was going to do that. And Katie was really kind and said, like, you know, if my tent collapses or her tent collapses, we'll go in each other's tents, you know, but then mine clearly collapsed, so, you know, ended up staying with her the entire weekend, and she was really cool, and one of the few people that I actually care about and would like to keep in my life. So, you know, most people, they're like, she was actually one of the very few that, you know. So yeah, then there's the whole weekend, and the first day of working was after being awake all that time. I'd already been awake since before I even left for London, which was 11, so you know, I woke up at 10 AM and I'd been awake over 48 hours by the time I was working, and you know, I just lost track of time completely, and I was getting major headaches and couldn't concentrate, and had to ask about 6 times to go back to my tent because I couldn't do the whole shift. So I finished at 9 PM, even though I probably should have finished at 12 or later. But, you know, I put up with it as long as I could, and then the next day I was all sorted and good to go, but then, like, you know, we still got sent home a bit earlier because it wasn't as busy, and then she said, oh, because you were ill the first day, you might as well have the next day off. And, you know, I didn't complain because then I could go out the whole night with Katie and hope that she has the day off as well. But she didn't. She started at 2 PM, which wasn't too bad, but like ended up staying out drinking for like 7 AM. And then there was this other girl that we sort of hang around with, who was like kind of not wanting to leave us alone, even though we wanted to be alone. So yeah, awkward, but you know, it was fine. It was alright. She ended up going back to her tent, and then we just ended up going to sleep there. You know, it's all good, but we didn't wake up till like 20 minutes before Katie had to be on her bar. So yeah, kind of I had to put down all the tent and everything and sort everything out, so it was alright. And then after the last day of dossing about and being bored at the festival because there was literally nothing to do, because everyone needed tokens for, and we weren't really allowed to get tokens because we were staff, so yeah, it's expensive anyway, like £4 token to do anything. And so kind of hung around the campsite a bit with some of the other staff. This right idiot who was like, yeah, I've got 6 jobs, I own 6 of my own businesses, and then later his mate arrives and he's having to go at him because he's nicked half his money, and he's like, you know, we're both unemployed, I'm a traveller and this and all that, and I was like, you violent idiot twat, you know, just because you're a traveller there's no need to be a dickhead about it. But yeah. So yeah, then it was coach home, which was a lot less eventful and a lot better, but then on the ferry back, like, I told Katie that I was older. I'm sure I'd even told her that I was 28, but she at least knew I was 25 if anything. And, you know, and then she saw my ID when I was showing her, and she was like, oh my god, you're old, it's the 14-year-olds all over again. And yeah, kind of, I think things have gone a bit awkward now, because she hasn't kind of replied yet to messages, so it's disappointing, because, you know, when you meet someone that you get on really, really well, who's like, you know, you associate with, there's very few people that you actually do get on that well with. It's kind of disappointing. So yeah, where was I? And then we all ended up at hers for a bit, and like not falling asleep. It was till 10. Well, she knew that I wanted to leave at 10 because she knew me, and I didn't even have to say. She was like, he wants to leave early, so he definitely catch the transport and all this. But then the other girl who was with us was like, me and Casey fell asleep, but she was still awake and didn't wake us up. So it was 10:25 when I woke up, and yeah, didn't want to wake Casey up, so left on my own to get the train, and missed my transport by 5 minutes because, right, Megabus on Virgin trains, it was show your driver this number and it'll all be fine, and coming down from Birmingham, yeah, showing it on the actual train, perfectly fine. Go to London Euston, they're not letting me pass the barrier. Oh, that's just a reservation number, you need to go talk to the office. And go to the office, no, we can't do anything about that, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I kind of couldn't even get on my train, even if I did make it there on time. Like, you know, I'm sure I saw it still parked at the station, even though it was 5 minutes after the sun. It looked like it was still there, but no, they won't let me pass the barrier. So, looking at a single train back, it's £48, and I wasn't going to pay that, so Had to trek all the way over to Victoria coach station and pay 15 quid to get a coach home. Yes, I didn't get back till really, really late. But yeah. All in all, I think everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. It's like absolute hell. Like I could have been completely out on my ass the whole weekend, to be honest though. But I don't know what's worse. Like, because I met someone really cool and great who kind of was put off now because of my age. That's kind of worse, possibly. If it's like just everything going hell and shit as always. So that's the disaster of the Isle of Ice, and now I've got no tent because that was destroyed. My sleeping bag got ripped, but well, the zip broke anyway. So yeah, great fun, kind of. Isle of Ice got a t-shirt. I don't know if you can see.